So repriming your Best of the West primer carriers is a simple process, and we're going to go into that right now. Okay, so first step is to make sure that your primer carriers are not live. Make sure they've all been fired. You don't want to be pounding on a live primer. So take your spent primers. So pop that out. Okay, now you're ready to put the new primers in. New primers, make sure that they are Federal Large Rifle Magnum primers. These are Federal 215s. I've already got those loaded in the repriming tool. Let's give those a squeeze. There it is. Super fast and super easy. So here's a few tips and tricks for the Best of the West muzzleloader. First thing is your primer tubes. As they're jostling around and moving around in your truck or wherever, they build up some static in there. So a quick easy fix for that is take a dryer sheet and wrap it around a pen and just run it in there. Just kind of roll it around and pull the dryer sheet out, and that will remove all the static from your tubes. Next thing is your short starter has a couple features on it that not a lot of people know about. On the end there's a threaded stud, and that will screw into the end of your ramrod and give you a pretty effective range rod. It's great for cleaning when the ramrod's all the way down against the barrel. It gives you a nice purchase. The other thing is there's a little pocket right here for your ramrod, so as you're seating. So sometimes the seating gets a little tough, so you can put the ramrod in that pocket and help seat the bullet. So here's a little tip to make your primer carriers last a little bit longer. As soon as they come out of the gun, if you'll wipe those clean, they'll last much, much longer. You'll get 3 or 4 more firings out of them. If you let them sit for half an hour or so, that crust gets hard and it's next to impossible to get off. Something else to keep in mind about primer carriers, they use a primer, and that primer is very sensitive to humidity and moisture. So if you do whatever you can to make sure these things stay perfectly dry, they'll perform a lot better. Another common question that we get is, why is my muzzleloader so stiff to close? So you'll notice this is a brand new carrier. The first time you use them, they're going to be very stiff to close. It's going to take some muscle to close that bolt, and that's the way they're designed. It's supposed to be that way. As you shoot them, they'll become easier to close and still seal. Again, like I said, as long as you keep them clean, and but just keep in mind it's going to be tight closing it the first few times. So hopefully these tips will make life a little easier and make your hunt that much more successful.